Very good. So, dear guests, online and offline, welcome to the NORDIS DIL Forum, Digital Information Literacy Forum. I will soon go on the program and explain a little bit, perhaps, what is NORDIS and what is Faktabaari, who is hosting the network at the moment, and some practicalities. But of course, our big themes today are the AI. Also the social media platforms, especially after the break, with the help of our colleagues coming all the way from Norway and Australia. So we will have a little bit of perspectives to this crazy world we are living. I think the audience kind of knows already what is happening on that front, so I'm not going to detail you all, to explain you all the dystopias, but we are more focusing on ways to overcome that and what the NGO sector and the free independent stakeholders can do in this one. First of all, what is NORDIS? NORDIS is part of the EDMO wider European network, our Nordic hub, and it covers colleagues from 4 different fact-checking organizations, University of Bergen, and then technology partner Faktabaari, and FOJO, that is a journalist education institution in Sweden. Together, we have worked already like 2 shifts, and now we are going for, so in our language, the Nordic second phase. And let me see now. Second phase, and here we have missions to debunk misinformation, bolster digital information literacy. That is our topic today, and strengthen the Nordic information ecosystem. Oops. There's plenty of more material on the NORDIS as such on the website nordishub.eu, so please have a look at there. But I think this slide from our leader Morten summarizes pretty well that we try to amplify through collaborations. We do joint investigations, especially the fact-checkers. We do tech development, mostly in the use of the journalist as such, but we, as a media literacy parallel community, try to kind of follow and learn from that one as well. We do our coordinated media literacy work, but we also do training for journalists, because that is still that scales. We still luckily have journalistic media in the Nordic countries, also in Europe, whereas in the rest of the world the situation is even worse at the moment. Big simplifications, but get the big picture. And then we do policy work, and policy is super important, as you can see now that we are kind of in the crossroads, like what's going to be the European approach next to the US and probably the China-led initiatives as such. But we try to kind of first understand ourselves, coordinate ourselves, and then try to reach out to the audiences with different kind of channels, websites, and mostly on our individual members communicate through their channels, because the audience is still settled for them, but we use NORDIS Hub EU as a portal for our efforts. And today we are focusing on the coordinated media literacy work, and we are actually going to open up I think the one and biggest single deliverable of our network, prepared by my colleague that will talk you shortly. So next to Faktabaari, so next to NORDIS, we of course, like in Faktabaari, have been working on these type of topics since 2017, and I will just open it up to the extent that it kind of sees our approach. We are a small NGO, but pretty active and on many fronts, and we've just turned 10 years. That is in these circles actually quite a long journey. We use this topic that illustrates, unfortunately, the broken internet at the moment in our 10 years anniversary It's actually a page cover of an academic book from Vili Lehdonvirta, but it kind of illustrates the kind of a code of arms and who are really the digital power brokers, and now how it's linked to the political power. Yes, it might look a little bit like that one. These are the slides we used ironically in our own presentation. But as we see it, we are not really tilting the windmills of fighting imaginary enemies. And we don't want to think that our battle is hopeless. And we are not out of touch, because within these networks we have a lot of understanding, at least, on the situation, and we can kind of catalyze some tools. We have been Faktabaari working for 10 years. These are some of our partners in very wide networks, and of course credit all of them for enriching our thinking on these issues. And now lately we have especially then run within the Nordis together with our Norwegian colleagues from TENK that are present here for these most acute challenges ahead. Before still going a little bit to the digital information literacy, that's the frame, and of where Kari talks about the AI, I will go a couple of slides backwards, just on the practicalities. You, as audience, will have possibility to make questions. Esa will coordinate that. Esa, can you wave your hand? The audience cannot see online, but Esa will be also following your chat in the YouTube, and picking up things from there and trying to intervene me every once in a while, if needed. We will have one break. Of course, we kind of filled it up with a launch of a new game that we did on can you spot or can you still recognize a genuine photo of the manipulated ones, AI manipulated ones, but that's for later. The first break is about 14:20, so in 1 hour and about, and our idea is that you can pick up the coffees and then return to your seats, and then we change a little bit the topic, then we go on, and then after that we enjoy a reception here. Unfortunately, yes, of course, only on offline, and you will have a chance to network and taste a little bit. There is some snacks and wines made by Faktabaari team. Outside that, I put some of the hashtags, but as we have seen, it's getting more and more difficult for our type of organizations to get reach in the social media. So we don't put too many hopes on that one, but we put our hopes on people like you here and online who can amplify the things if you find them useful. Finally, the credits to, of course, our Nordis Hub colleagues, but also to DECA project. That is a wonderful academic project by sponsored by the Finnish Academy of Science. If I got it right, yes. Minna will correct me sooner or later. But anyway, that has been more like the research arm in a way that has been feeding us in, because as a small NGO we cannot afford to do academic science. We have rather try to interpret it for the citizens. So I will soon let Kari to take the floor. Kari's presentation will be followed by Christian, who is presenting what the officials are doing on the AI. That's very interesting. And then we have the break. Then we will have more like a TikTok-focused perspective. What's the role of the big platforms in the media literacy field? Much understudied. We are like a kind of trying to serve it with you. And then we will have, as said, insights from our Norwegian colleagues, TENK, and as said, all the way from Australia with a prize. We close by 5 o'clock, and before that one, there is a couple of words still from me on Faktabaari and the continuation of these efforts, and our chairman of the foundation that we established ourselves to be truly independent also in the future. Good. So finally, to the digital information literacy. Long, let's say, definition. Kari might come back. But personally, in these image-driven times, I think this talks a bit more. Information literacy has a long roots in especially on the libraries and organizing information. But I think the second one is kind of more illustrative, what means to try to do the same thing in the digital setting. Stretching out from here to the AI challenge is that this was a map search that Kari has used in his demonstrations, and I think it was a European map that you searched at the time. You got at those times, this was last year, 224 million hits for the European map, and the other one, this is done with one of the generative AI tools, DALI, and where you put the same European map prompt, you get one picture, and as you can see, this is of course the synthesis of in a way the data that the AI has been eating, but not completely accurate. So this is just like an easy way to say that the accuracy is a challenge, and that's of course not that's the big challenge that we try to follow it with our origins in fact checking. What does it really bring in? Good. Perhaps I give the floor at this stage to Kari, and we can really dive into our theme of the day, the AI, and to the publication of the let's say the second edition of our AI guide, this time focused and targeted to the teachers that we believe very much and highly appreciate in Finland, and as we have learned also in Nordic countries. They are highly educated, and our silver bullet to an extent has been that we try to kind of empower them, because they are still working with the digitally natives that are not, unfortunately at the moment, digitally literate.